Good afternoon, you handsome lot. On the ramp today, I've got a Volkswagen Tiguan 2017 with a little bit of an air conditioning fault. Now, this vehicle has been regassed twice, and the centre that told him, let me get this right. He went to have it gassed, the next day it ran out. So he went back, they gassed it again. So he went back, and they said it might work after its third time refilling it. Well, I find that hard to believe. There's obviously a leak there, isn't there? He did also come to me a few weeks ago for a Schrader valve to go in the air conditioning ports where you top them up. And I said, I can guarantee you, I've never changed one of them, and I've done a lot of air conditioning. But anyway, he sort of gave up. He said, there's any chance that you can have a little look at it and get it sorted for me? Of course we are. That's what we're going to do. Now, I think why they've said put a Schrader valve in it, obviously when you fill in your air conditioning, you do get the UV dye in with the oil. Now, as it injects, this is where you get a UV pen. This is years old. If you have a little look around the system, it's got a leak. You will see like a bright green. And if we go to there, you can see around that Schrader valve there, it is a little bit green, but that you are going to get that because that's where it injects the oil and UV dye. But however, let's take it up, have a little look. Now, with the vehicle half raised, what we're going to do is have a little look at the condenser. Now, let me just get a torch. Oh. Give me a little bit of a torch. We have a little look up at that condenser there. I don't know if you can see it, a little bit damp and greasy. If it looks like that, normally it is leaking. And also in that bottom corner there, on that seal, on that joint, can you see it? It does look a little bit, well, camera is probably not going to look damp. But if we get our UV light and just plonk it around the bottom there, can you see that UV dye? Well, that is where it's leaking. So it's never going to seal itself if it takes it back and gets it gassed again. But we are going to be replacing the condenser on this. So we do need to take the front bumper off. Now, to make things a little bit easier for myself, removing the front bumper on these modern cars, you have to be ever so careful. Now, we do have to remove it, and I am looking on all data. This is manufacturer's information. But if we go around to general body, exterior, front bumper, remove and refitting, there's some steps that you've got to be like careful with. Removing and installing bumper cover. This is brilliant, this is. It saves me so much time. Just having a little 5 minutes on the information can save you probably half an hour, 40 minutes on a job, I should imagine. Right, removing and installing the bumper cover. Make sure that there's no major instructions that we have to be careful with. Yeah, well, yeah, there is. For vehicles fitted with active pedestrian protection system, disconnect the battery negative. Now, how you check? Come over to your bonnet hinges, and if you can see a little yellow wire or a gas strut, that is an airbag deployment, and that is for the pedestrian protection. So we are going to have to just take the negative off the battery. Battery is now disconnected. We're going to have a little look now and just see where all the nuts and bolts are and see what we've got to do. The trims, we've just got to pull them back to access some screws, but yeah, I'm sure we will get there. Now I've got the vehicle half raised, pull this trim off. Round here, they're just plastic little clips into the bumper. Don't worry about these ones, but them ones, hang on, where you go? Them ones at the top there, they can be an absolute nightmare. So what I've used is a long trim clip and just work my way and just pop them off. Things are plastic and things are going to break. Doesn't matter how careful you are, if it's going to break, it's going to break, especially being plastic. And as these cars are getting older, things do get a little bit more brittle. Now, I have removed the trim, as you can see, and I've also undone that one screw that goes up that way, both sides. With the vehicle raised, I have also removed the T25s from underneath the bottom here. Now, all of them, they are all T25s. Right, I've got to drop it down now. I'm just going to put a little bit of masking tape on this corner here. So when we remove it, we're not scratching anything. With a little bit of masking tape, put on that wing now. Grab the bumper. It always, with plastic, it always feels as if it's going to break. So give it a good yank. There we go. That is now released. Now let's move around to removing the grille. Now there's a little hole around the back there. You just poke one of the tabs down. And then we have got access to the adaptive cruise control module. I might be wrong, but according to technical information, that's what it is called. Be extra careful with this. We're going to get it unplugged in a minute. And there is a T30 just behind the badge. And there we have it with a little bit of magic. That front bumper is now off. Now I have gone ahead and I've removed the condenser. There's a couple of little plastic clips up there. Undo the two T30s at the bottom for the pipes, and it should just slide up and sort of wiggle and jiggle out. Remember me saying at the beginning of the video where it was damp around this corner? You can see it there, can't you? Right, but I couldn't see any UV dye, only down this bottom corner here. But if we spin around, where can I put it? Let's just put it there for now. Okay. There we go. One pinhole in the condenser. Yeah, of course, that would have fixed itself third time. Right, just wait now for the brand new one to turn up. You lot fully know that I hate mess. Now what we're going to have to do with that condenser out, obviously, as you can see, it is kind of grim behind there and all that. All leaves and flies and wasps and fag butts, fag ends are all blocking that radiator up. And we need maximum airflow. So what we're going to do, give it a little bit of a little bit of a blow through. I'm going to be using this pickler. And how it works, the end of it spins. Oh, we're making a mess. Oh my God. I tell you what, you'd be surprised how much crap and stuff gets built up behind these grills. Now, doesn't that look a little bit better? Maximum airflow, everything nice and clean. We like things clean, don't we? And there we have it. The brand new one now has just turned up. Make sure all your little mounting brackets are all the same, even where your fixtures go. I have checked them. But when you get a new condenser, when you undo it, I don't know whether you can hear this now. If it doesn't go psh, send it back. Can you hear it? Send it back. If it doesn't do that, send it back because it will be faulty. Anyway, let's get these little blanking plugs off and get it fitted. And there we have it with a little bit of magic. That condenser is now back in. And it's all clipped in. Beautiful. In the top corners there. Make sure everything's nice and tight, because the last thing you want is that wobbling around, chafing and causing little holes anywhere. Again, we don't want that. But however, I've had to get on the phone to Graham over at TPS and ask him for 2 little O-rings by there. You should always replace them whenever you're changing a condenser, because the last thing we want is it leaking. And there we have it, just like that. Them 2 rubber O-rings have finally turned up. Now what we're going to do, now this is old pag oil. Perfectly old pag oil with a little bit of UV dye. It's not going to hurt. Give them seals a little bit of a coating. Don't use anything else other than pag oil. And then what we can do is just... Can I do it one-handed? No, I can't. Or can I? No, I can't do it. Yeah, I can. Done it. There we go. Put them new seals on that one and that top one. With them pipes now connected up, what you want to do is give everything a little bit of a clean, because if you don't give it a bit of a clean and you get your UV torch, someone else is going to go there and go, oh, give it a tap. Oh. It's got a leak, it's got a leak. So you need to make sure that you clean everything down. And all I'm going to use is a little bit of brake and clutch cleaner. Obviously, I have got to put this vehicle back together, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to be recharging the AC system. Now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, not the old stuff. It is a new gas. Now, we're going to get it coupled up. We need to have a little look for the yellow sticker, which is by there, and we need to put 460 grams of refrigerant in it. So I'm going to go around here. Also, come on. Vacuum, we're going to do 30 minutes vacuum. Obviously, as soon as you disconnect it all, it's going to pull moisture in. What the vacuum does, it'll boil all that moisture out of the system. Oil, 20 grams. What did I say? Was it 4? I don't bloody know now. 460. 460. 460. Press OK. Start. Running. And while that's doing this thing, I can be putting this front end back together. Front bumper is now semi back on. We just got this side to do. I've bolted the other side up, and we are pulling a nice vacuum. The gauges are on 0, which is a good thing. Right, let's plug on. Everything out on the front end of this car is built back up. Everything's nice and tight. I'm still pulling a vacuum on the machine, and I'm just going to jump in the diagnostic side of it, do a little bit of a health report. Now, there is lots of stuff in there which has nothing to do with me. But if we want to go into... I am doing a report, and I can print it off. Where's it gone? HVAC. Engine electronics, we've got knock sensor faults, brake, climate control, refrigerant pressure low. Well, we know that because it had a big leak-a-rooney, didn't it? And it is now fixed. Read data stream. I'm going to pull up some data for you now, and then hopefully by the time that's finished, this will be finished as well. All the information that I am just going to be looking at on the HVAC side of things is the inside temperature, outside temperature, refrigerant pressure, and the temperature of the downstream evaporator, which is in behind the dash here. As you can see, we've got 0 bar because it is on a vacuum. Right, well, we have now finished pulling the vacuum. It's running its leak test. We've got 2.5 minutes. If that goes up, or they go up, we've got a leak. But I'm sure we haven't anymore. Now all it's doing is putting the... Hang on, let's skip. As you can see, it's filling the gas up. The pressure is now going up. You see? But anyway, as I was saying a second ago, it was just putting some oil in and some UV dye. AC system is now full. So we can go ahead, give it a bit of a start. The traction control lights and steering wheel, they should go out when you take it down the road. Sometimes they'll go when you go left to right. Yeah, there we go. They've all gone off now. Right, let's go ahead. Put the aircon on. Put max aircon. We want it on that little button. Pointing in my face. You should see now the pressure building, which it is. Hang on. Sorry about that, people had a very important phone call. But anyway, as you can see now, the refrigerant pressure has built right up to 11.8 bars of pressure. The temperature of the downstream evaporator is coming down. Probably get that down to about 2 degrees. External temperature, 23 degrees. That is the inside of the cabin. So that's yet to cool down. And the outside temperature is 23. Yeah, see? We've come down now to 2.3. So you can imagine how cold this system is going to be. Beautiful. I might just stay in here for half an hour. Now, I don't know whether you lot are going to see this, Just shows you how cold it is inside that cabin. As you can see, we've come down to 1.7 degrees, which is beautiful enough to keep your cold can of Coke. Your can of Coke cool, shall I say. Anyway, we made it look presentable, made it look as if something's been done. I'm going to get this car off the ramp now because it is 10 to 5. Anyway, if you've made it this far in the video and you've liked what you've seen, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and we will definitely see you on the next one. Let's get it, Sam.